Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our second hands-on workshop and AMA session under the Informatica's Data Engineering Hackathon 2024. I am Simarjit Mukherjee from Team Hack to Skill. I will be your host for today. For those who have joined us from today, this is a heads up that we are running a weeks-long series of hands-on workshop where you will learn 5 cutting-edge AI-powered cloud services of Informatica. Gain access to exclusive learning resources and kickstart your data engineering journey and get strategies to compete prize pool of 10,000 USD. So let's get started. The primary agenda of today's hands-on workshop is to learn about integrate of data profile and quality, its architecture and design, exploring data quality accelerator with hands-on lab over, followed by Q&A and with our expert. We have a trainer who has guided you today to the topic cloud data profiling and quality. Let's welcome Sudhir Kalra. He's working as a principal technical marketing manager at Informaticas. He has over 12 years of experience as an enterprise architect developer with interest and passion in solving complex data management solutions. So let's welcome Sudhir. Over to you, Sudhir.
Thanks, Majid. Hi everyone. Hi, welcome to this Data Engineering Hackathon 2024. So, like you all know, I'm Sudhir. I'm a technical marketing engineer at Informatica. So, let's start the session right away. So, let me share my
Thanks.
screen.
Sure.
Yeah, I hope everyone can see my screen. So, let's start with the session on
Yeah, we
cloud
can.
data profiling and data quality. So, if you have already joined the previous sessions on cloud masterization, then you it's just an overview session on the cloud data quality and profiling service in IDMC, and then we'll see like how what this service is about, what is an overview, how this service can help you in your day-to-day data management activities, and then we'll go through like how an hands-on lab looks like with these services. So this is just an product disclaimer. And now let's start with the agenda. So we'll start with the introduction of cloud data profiling and quality service. And then when we'll look into the architecture and design, and then we'll see how we can integrate data quality in data integration. And then we'll see the different data quality accelerators that are already present in our service. And then at the last, we go through the hands-on walkthrough. So you might have already seen this in our last session on cloud masterization if you have been joined the session. If not, so this is a high level details on the critical data challenges that everyone faces today. So the first thing is like discover how you discover the data, and the second thing is how you populate and replicate the data after you discover data. So yesterday cloud masterization was all about populate and replicate your data. So today our key focus will be on cleansing, and that is enriching and standardizing your data. And the other important key data challenges are like how to secure your data, how to master your data, and how to govern your data. So, like I mentioned, a key focus will be on cleansing our data, that is using cloud data profiling and cloud data quality. So these are quick view of the data quality challenges. So we see like 20%, 27% of the data practitioners only trust their data, and the trust in data degrades as you move away from your source system. So suppose the data has moved from multiple source systems, having been transformed multiple times, definitely the amount of trust you have on your data will definitely decrease. And almost up to 30% of the time has been spent on non-valuable tasks because of poor data quality and availability. And more importantly, we have like existing hand code approaches which can be very prone to error, and also those kind of approaches may not scale on finding the data anomalies. So let's see how this is done in IDMC. So first you discover the data, and then you define your data, define and view your data anomalies, and then you apply your data quality to make sure like your data is enriched and standardized, and then you monitor how the data is fixed now. So this is a simple and autonomous, scalable solution. So a cloud data quality, which is an IDMC service, can be integrated into cloud data integration into your data pipelines, can be integrated into cloud data governance and catalog. It can be integrated into master data management, your reference 360, customer 360. So all these are different services in IDMC. So data quality can be part of most of the services in IDMC. So this is a high-level design and architecture overview of cloud data profiling and quality. So you can see like we always need a secure agent in order to make sure like our IDMC collaborates with our source systems. So your secure agent can be installed on your Windows machine or on your Linux machine or any EC2 machine of your choice. I mean, it's need not be necessarily an EC2 in AWS. You can also install your secure agent on your virtual machine in Azure or your GCS, Google Cloud System, or Oracle. So, like you can see in this architecture, so cloud data profiling and cloud data quality are two major important parts for cloud data integration. So, it is very important to make sure like you profile your data to find that data anomalies, and then you make sure like you use your cloud data quality to fix the issues that you found out by profiling. So, these are the two key data quality steps that you may need to take care of during building your data pipelines. So let's see how that looks like. So this is a sample snapshot of profiling. So normally data profiling can help you in finding the different data anomalies. You can understand the clear statistics of your data, and the most important thing is like identification of data anomalies. So using our cloud data profiling, you can easily identify the data anomalies, and you can execute your profile multiple times to identify the trend of your data. Suppose today you have a customer ID column which has 10 records as null, and tomorrow the data has been refreshed by source system, and when you reprofile it, you see like there are 20 records which are null. So you can see that the trend is decreasing, which can be visible using a cloud data profiling. The same way, if the data quality is improved, you can see like the trend might also increase. And suppose a customer ID column, instead of having only ID as an integer, suppose there are any varchar format. Suppose it's a mix of alphabetic and numeric characters, then probably our cloud data profiling can easily identify like the different types of different data types that are present in your source that has been profiled. So you can profile n number of columns. It can easily identify the number of nulls, the number of repeated data, the number of distinct values, and the most frequently used value, the minimum value, the maximum value. So all these things can be easily identified using cloud data profiling. So let's go to the next slide. So more importantly, you can also apply your DQ assets on data profiling. Suppose there is let me take an example. So you have two different dates in a particular customer table. One is like the joining date of the customer, and the second is like the birth date. It's the date of birth. Suppose there might be an erroneous data where your date of birth might be a later date to the joining date, which is not a proper business scenario. So you need to identify all those records which are faulty, having date of birth as a greater value than the joining date. So all you need to do is like create a rule, build your rule logic, and then apply your rule logic into your profiling. So profiling can simply run the rule logic, and it can easily identify and showcase you like, okay, these number of records are having erroneous data as per the rule logic that has been created. So these number of records are valid and this number of records are invalid. So that is how you use a rule specification inside and profiling. And the most important thing is like you can reuse it everywhere across cloud and on-premises systems. So once you're creating a data quality asset, right? We'll later see like what are the different types of data quality assets. But let's now take an example of a rule specification. So you have created a rule specification. So you have applied into a customer mapping related to APAC data. So tomorrow your automation has asked you to build a pipeline on customer data related to North America. So you can reuse the same rule specification. You did not rebuild your rules again and apply the same rule into a different pipeline to make sure that you identify all the good amount of data and bad amount of data. And also you can make sure like you can get in continuous insights on your data. So our profiling is enabled with Claire AI. So if you are not aware, Claire AI is our Informatica's own artificial intelligence, which can help you with different insights, which can help you in few automations and all these things. So you can refer into a documentation in detail to understand what our Claire AI is capable of. So to just to showcase over here, what Claire can help to do in your data profiling is it can showcase you an additional insights. So when you enable your Claire and you run your cloud data profiling, so what Claire does is like it will go through the metadata, it will go through all the data inside the metadata, and it will come up with then suggestions on the insights. Say suppose like a column is mix of characters of numeric, alphanumeric, and only alphabets and all. So it will give you a suggestion saying that this particular column is a mix of different kind of characters. So this is kind of a medium or an high uh, kind of an insight that you have to look into. And it is up to user's choice. Okay, the Claire has suggested me that this particular column needs to be re-evaluated, and it's up to user's choice if he wants to re-evaluate it or if he wants to reject the insight. So this is about a high-level introduction on cloud data profiling. And also the cloud data profiling can be integrated into cloud data governance and catalog services. But in this particular hackathon, we are not asking users to build anything on cloud data governance and catalog, but it's up to user if they like to show something on cloud data governance and catalog. So now let's get into the cloud data quality. So like we already discussed, so the first major thing is to profile your data. So this will definitely help us understand the possible way to proceed ahead to make sure like what needs to be done in order to fix the data anomalies, and then validate your data. So validation can be based on different columns, can be different categories. Suppose like over here we can see like a validation can be on currency, it can be on employee ID, it can be on customer, it can be on different types of codes, and then you standardize the data. So what standardization means over here is like suppose there is a multiple representation of a country, US, United States of America, or in London, or and then you mentioned like England. So all these are similar kind of data examples. So all United States of America categorized into one different only one country, and you can make sure like okay, your USA needs to be standardized into one single format instead of multiple formats. So you can see over here the example. KitKat is represented in multiple different kind of ways, and it can be standardized into one single format. So this is about how you standardize your data. And then looking into the fuzzy match. So suppose you are an retail customer and you're running a campaign, and suppose your retail store is located into multiple countries. So a particular person has already registered in country A, and suppose the same person has also registered in country B. So the kind of data that has been submitted by person in country A might be different from country B. There can be a difference in email, there can be difference in phone number, or might be a very possible chance there can be mistake in a name. Suppose over here over in country A he has mentioned like A and Nancy, and in country B the particular customer has added as an Alex Nancy. So it's an abbreviated format in one country and full format in another country. So we know like these two records are same records, but what if you have a poor quality of data which is not standardized, and you end up sending campaign codes to both to the same customer multiple times. So there might be a scenario where the customer might be irked with multiple campaigning emails. So the best way to do is like you can standardize your data. So you make sure like you get a consolidated data of one single record of multiple customers, and then start your campaign. This is an easy example where you can do like fuzzy lookup match to identify the duplicate records. And next thing is parse. Suppose we have there's a simple example over here. So we have reviews in an Amazon or a Flipkart site. So normally people add the reviews in a sentence format, which could have a valuable information related to the product. Suppose tomorrow our product analytics team wants to run a campaign on a particular product called iPhone. So they want to see like how many people have purchased iPhones 14, 64 GB kind of an iPhone. But they want to evaluate like, okay, we want to evaluate these customers from the review comments. to make sure that those are verified customers. So the review comments can or cannot contain details regarding the iPhone, but they can understand, like, okay, they can take all the review comments and build in parse logic to make sure like they get a valuable information from the review comments, which can help them in analytics standpoint. So over here you can see an example. It says like, I love my pink 64 GB iPad Pro, where pink is in color. So we can get in details like, okay, pink is one of the preferred choice by customers, and size is 64 GB, where we can also get valuable information saying that 64 GB is the most preferred size of iPhone, which can help in reselling or selling the future iPhones. And the product, so we can see like, okay, iPad is the most used product, and then Pro, okay, which model is being most widely used by customers. So this way you can analyze the review comments from multiple channels like Amazon or Flipkart or Facebook or Instagram, and then you can get valuable information from these comments. And the last thing is enriching the data. So now that you have identified that the product, the particular record can contain a lot of erroneous data, it is very important to make sure that you enrich your data. So simple example of enriching your data is an address. Suppose a zip code is not an complete zip code, or else your zip code doesn't has an exact location. So it is very important to make sure that you have a geospatial data of your zip code, like longitude and latitude, which can easily help in delivering your products for the companies or organizations. So Informatica can help you doing that. So all you need to do is like, we haven't verified address transformation. So Informatica has its own address doctor, which has address data of almost all the countries. You can simply use the transformation and enrich your incoming address with more appropriate address and more details mentioning if an address can be deliverable, or if an address can be not be deliverable, if an address is valid only to some point. All these additional details can be catered using the verified DQ transformation. So we'll cover the type of DQ assets in our later slides. So this is drag and drop no code data quality in your pipeline. So you need not code anywhere. All you need to do is like, we have pre-built transformations, DQ transformations, like parts that we discussed, like deduplication and consolidation of your data, rule specification, cleansing, dictionary. So all these things you can we already have pre-built transformations. All you need to do is drag into your data pipelines and configure these individual transformations to make sure that your data is standardized and enriched based upon your business logic. So this is how you collaborate the end-to-end use case. So like we discussed, first you identify all the data variations using profiling. So once the data is profiled, and then suppose you're working on country column, so you build a dictionary saying like, these are the valid country names. So anything within the list of this dictionary is a valid country, and anything which is not part of this dictionary is an invalid record, which needs to be looked into again in future. And then you create your own rule specifications to fix all these data issues, and then you use these rule specifications into your cloud data integration. So you're using cloud data profiling, and then you're building to identify the data anomalies, and then you're using the cloud data quality to fix those to create a rules or to fix those data anomalies, and then you're integrating that rule into your data pipeline to make sure like all the records from the source go through that particular rule and gets enriched or standardized. So this is how you collaborate an end-to-end use case using all three different services. So this is one of the important thing. So normally our license IDMC platform comes with out-of-box accelerators. So it's not like you always need to build your data quality rules. So we have different kind of categories of data quality pre-existing rules that you can simply reuse in your business logics. So we have different pre-existing dictionaries based on global data, like the country name, the colors, and suppose the phone codes, the zip codes, all these things. And we have a pre-built cleanse function which can help you in cleanse your sentences or your phone number or your email. We have our own deep duplicate logics which can help you identify the duplicate data. So we have pre-built task parse which can help you parse different kind of categories like SSN number or your credit card number or your email, your full name. So everything there are many number of pre-built parts DQ assets. And then we have address verified, like I mentioned. So you can see like we have dictionaries already pre-built on USA, Canada, Brazil, and all these things. So instead of creating anything new data quality asset, you can simply reuse these pre-built connect accelerators if it opts to your use case. So let's go through a detailed lab walkthrough. So in a cloud data profiling lab, we are going to cover like 5 different labs. So the first thing is setting up your own secure agent. This is also part of your cloud migration. So if in case you have already done for your cloud migration, you need not do it again for your IDMC platform. But if you have not done your cloud migration, or if you're not working into migration, you can do this lab. You can set up your own secure agent on your local machine or any machine of your choice to make to connect to your source data sets. And then we'll create a flat file connection. The flat file connection will be pointing to your local machine for this particular hands-on lab where you'll be having the source files. And then we'll run a profile on the flat file connection, and where we already which is already pointing to one particular source file like item detail. And using this particular lab kit, you will identify all the data anomalies in that particular source file. And once you identify the data anomalies in the next lab, what you're going to do is like you're going to create an DQ assets to fix those data anomalies. And at the end in lab 5, what you're going to do is like you're going to build an cloud data integration pipeline, and whatever DQ transformations that you have built in a previous step, you're simply going to integrate them into your pipelines. So this is an end-to-end data quality collaboration slide that we have earlier referred to, using cloud data profiling, cloud data quality, and cloud data integration service. So now let's go into our product IDMC platform. So this is the same trial that you guys are using. So let me log in into the trial. I can showcase you like what are the different kind of data quality assets that are present in IDMC. So let's open data quality. We are also looking into data profiling. Let's open data profiling, and we are also looking into data integration. So let's open data integration. So the profiling page is up. So let's wait till the assets are up. It seems a bit slow in connections. Yeah. So meanwhile, let me showcase to you what an existing pre-built profiling that we already have. So this is a profile that is built on customer invoice table. So I'll showcase you like how the profile is configured, and how the profile results look like. So so this is how the profile will look like once it is set up and it is executed. Okay, so now let me show you the definition part. So you can see like while you're creating a profile, you need to give the profile name, you need to give the location, and you need to give the connection. So all the connections will be listed out that you have already created in your IDMC drive. And then once you selected the connection, since you have already installed a secure agent, you can simply traverse to the file that is pointing via your flat file connection. And like I mentioned, if you want to identify any clear additional insights, you can enable this or disable this on your choice. And you can run your profile on your complete data set, or you can, if you do not want to run on your complete data set, you can only, if you want to run your profiling only a limited number of columns, you can uncheck the number of columns that you do not want to run your profile on, and then simply save and run your profile. So yeah, this page is up. So let me show you how it looks like. So when you click on, so now we are into data profiling service. So I click on new. I have a data profiling task. You can click on the data profiling task. So it will ask you to, like the discussion will ask you to build all these details, and you can select the connection. Like you can see, there is already a flat file connection that has been created. And if you click on select, so my secure agent is not up and running. So for that reason, you're seeing this error. Else you'll see all the files that are present in this particular flat file connection. So now let me show you how the result set looks like. So once you run this profile, so this is how the results look like. So you can see like this profile is run on all the columns from the source system, the invoice, description, quantity, launch date, invoice date, and all. And you can see like the value distribution where it says like the number of null values, the number of not null values and all. So over here, the number of null values are 0%. And over here, you can select the number of distinct value is 4.78%. It's already identified by its bar graph. And these are the this is a percentage, and this is a distinct number. And number of non-distinct values are 95%, which is counting to 11,150 records. And we can see like there are two different kind of patterns for this invoice. And we discussed like that we can see the maximum length of the invoice field, the minimum length of the invoice field, what is the minimum value, maximum value, what are the total number of blanks, all these things. And this is the trend that we were talking about. So you can see this kind of a trend on multiple profile executions. So this trend may improve or may degrade based on the quality of your data. So now we are into this invoice column, and you can see like my profiling has identified all the different type of data types that are present in this particular invoice column. I can simply select a particular data type and click on apply. It will show me a sample preview of 10 records for this particular kind of data type. So this is how it looks like. So now suppose you want to get into more details into one of the columns, a country. So now I click on this country code. So now I can see a clear details, profiling details on the country column. So like we discussed in use case, United States is represented multiple times, which is an data issue. The data is not standardized. So this particular data set needs to be standardized in order to have a unique representation of your country. You can see like this particular country name, the frequencies, this is a frequency, and it is used in like 762% of the records, and this is the length of the value. And the same way you can see like the data types and trend for this particular column, and more importantly the patterns. So by the patterns, what I mean is like, so u.s.a is kind of an one pattern, United States of America is kind of an another pattern, so US is kind of an another pattern, XX. So there are different patterns for the country names. So you can identify all the patterns over here, and you can select okay, these are the different kind of patterns which needs to be standardized. So this is the data preview of all your records. So if in case you want to add additional customized queries, you can simply create your queries over here, save it and run it, so that this query will run on your data set and will showcase your data preview based on your query logic. So this is about the profile results. And if you remember, we have already discussed on the rule specification. So suppose I'm back to summary. I have my launch date and invoice date. So if you remember, we have discussed about like birth date and joining date, where birth date always needs to be an older date than the joining date. The same way, launch date should be always older than the invoice date. Suppose there are any record which says like any record says vice versa dates by mistake, and that is kind of a definite data issue, and that particular data issue needs to be identified and fixed as soon as possible to avoid any issues in during your analytics of your data. So what we did was like we simply created a rule specification to validate like date one is greater than date two, and we'll identify like how many number of records do align to that kind of an business logic. So you can build your own rule logic over here. So we have created a rule logic for date one and date two. So we are comparing both the dates using our inbuilt functions. And if the date one is newer than the date two, it's an invalid date. And if the date one is older than the date two, then it's a valid date. So we are going to use this particular rule specification in our profiling. So in our profiling, we have identified the rule from our IDMC platform, and we added the rule, and we simply ran the rule. So once you run the rule, what you're going to see is like there's an additional rule that is going to be displayed in your profiling results. So if you can see over here, I have my rule specification, verify date one precedes date two. So if I click on this particular rule specification, I can see like, okay, there are 72% of valid records, and there are 27% of records which are invalid. By invalid, I mean like the launch date is not appropriate and is older than the invoice date, which is a complete bad scenario. So every record will be tagged with valid and invalid scenario. So you can click on this particular invalid and click on apply. It will show you a sample preview of all the of 10 records. The same way, if you want to cleanse your data or identify the all such records, you can simply integrate this rule in your data pipeline to identify all records in your data sets. So this way you can simply identify your data anomalies, understand how this can be fixed, and create an appropriate DQ logic to fix the data. And last but not the least, insights. So like I mentioned, our own player can enable you with additional insights on your data profiling. So you can see like these are the different kind of insights. So you can see like for launch date and invoice date, it says like it do not match the format, and there is unusual distribution of day values in a day column. So there are different kinds of insights. So if you want to see like, okay, this insight has a score of medium or high, and this might be important for me to validate the data, you can simply go and approve the insight or reject the insight based on your choice. So if you approve the insight, Claire itself will create a rule logic into your profiling. You'll see a new rule created over here, and it will showcase you like, okay, this insight has this number of records which are not appropriate based on the insight that Claire has suggested. So this is about cloud data profiling. So this is not limited to a flat file like we're showcasing in your workshop. So you can connect to your cloud lakes, cloud warehouses, your on-prem systems, or your SAP applications, your Salesforce applications. You can connect to any different applications. So if you're bringing your own license for your data engineering hackathon event, you can connect to your appropriate source. But if you're not bringing your appropriate license, if you are using any Snowflake free trial, you can very easily create a connection on your Snowflake, create your assets in the Snowflake, and use that particular connection and asset in your cloud data profiling to identify the data anomalies. So this is about data profiling. So now let's quickly turn into data quality. So now you have found the data anomalies. So how do you fix those anomalies? So using data quality service, Informatica provides 7 different kind of data quality assets. So one is rule specification, where you can create your own rule logic to identify and validate the number of records that are valid or invalid. And then the dictionary. So we discussed like there can be multiple representations of a country. So you can create one single dictionary of all the valid countries. So any particular record which is part of the dictionary is valid, and if it is not part of the dictionary, it is invalid. You can create such kind of rules and identify all the erroneous data. And verified transformation, we discussed like you can cleanse your address very easily. So this doesn't come up with a trial because this needs an additional license. But if you're using an IDMC licensed platform, you see this particular verified, and if you want, you can enable your license to cleanse and enrich your addresses. And then this is cleanse. So we have a cleanse DQ asset which can help you in cleaning the data. So suppose you have some spaces in between your data set, you want to remove or trim the spaces, or if you want to replace an existing value existing value from an incoming with an dictionary value, so you can do it with the cleanse function. So all these kind of things can be achieved using cleanse. And then to deduplicate asset. So if there are any duplicate records, like we discussed with an example of retail use case, so you can use a deduplicate transformation to identify all such duplicate data based on your email or based on your name or based on your phone number, and you can consolidate those duplicate records into one single record. And then parse, we have already viewed an example like how you can parse your name or your SSN number, your first name, last name into 2 different columns. Or suppose you have an incoming sentence, you want to parse the model ID differently, you want to parse the product ID. So you can use parse in order to do that. And then labeler, you can label your data. Suppose you're getting an input email ID, you want to label that particular email with the domain name, the extension name, and the email ID. So you can use labeler in order to do that. So let me show you one of the existing cleanse function. So how it looks like. So we are into our IDMC trial. So we have cleanse phone. So let me open the cleanse phone, or also let me open the cleanse country, which might be a better example. And also let me open here dictionary to showcase you how it looks like. So they're into the home page. So these are the recent assets that I have reviewed or created. So let me show this. So let's start with dictionary. So we read an example, right? Like you're going to create a dictionary the same way you do for other assets. And then in the configuration, what I'm doing is like I have multiple representations of USA in my column one, and in column two, I'm giving an one single value, which is an replaceable value for all records that match to this record. So if there is any incoming record that do not match these five records, it will still be same, or based on your rule logic, you can mark it as an invalid record. But if there is any value that matches these input records, then you can replace it with the value of your choice. So this is how you create a dictionary, and then integrating the dictionary into your cleanse function. So this is my cleanse function. So there are multiple strategies that you can add to a cleanse function. You can convert a case like uppercase to lowercase, or lowercase to sentence case to toggle case, based on your choice. And you can remove one or more values based on your logic. You can remove the spaces, or you can replace the values. So over here in this cleanse function, my first strategy was to remove any additional spaces. And my second strategy was to replace the values. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So we have created a dictionary. So I have browsed the dictionary and added the dictionary over here. And I said like I want to replace my input values with the dictionary values. So anything that is q.h.a will be replaced by USA based on the dictionary match. I'm saying I'm also mentioning like my valid column is column 2 from the dictionary. And if there is any delimiter, no, there's no delimiter. It's not case sensitive. And my scope is if you find these records anywhere, you simply replace the value. So this is a sample preview of the dictionary. And if you want to test this particular cleanse, what you can simply do is like you can add your sample value u.h. Suppose I'll say like US, so United States. Now I'll select my secure agent. So if you want to do anything, it is important to install your secure agent. So it's a one-time activity. You can install your secure agent and then use it across all your IDMC services. So I've given a sample input value. I just clicked on test. So what my IDMC will do is like it will run this particular input value against this sequence of rules, and it will showcase you an output value saying like, okay, if you have such kind of an input record where the value is US, it will be replaced to USA based on your cleanse logic that you have created. So you can add multiple test values of your choice, and both valid and invalid scenarios, and you can test to make sure like, okay, your cleanse function is working based on appropriate logic. So this is taking some time. Let it run. Yeah, you can see like the US is replaced with USA. So similarly, you can add other country names into your dictionary and replace them with valid values. So this is how you use a cleanse function. The same way, there's a cleanse phone. So what I'm doing is like I'm removing the trailing and leading spaces, and then if there are any multiple spaces, those also I'm removing them. And my second strategy is to remove values. Suppose you have an incoming value of phone number as a text column. So there are very possible chances that people might have appended your phone number with PH colon, phone colon, or PHN, or what kind of different values. So in those kind of scenarios, what you can do is like you can replace these custom values using your cleanse function. So there is already an input phone number. So let's see how this particular phone number gets standardized based on the logic that we have defined over here. So this may take some time in order to run. And additionally, during while this runs, so we also have an additional option in cleanse. Suppose you have incoming values. Suppose my incoming value is phone 123 dot some sample phone number, and I want to standardize this phone number into one single format, saying like TEL, the telephone number. So what I'm doing is like I'm creating a merge function, merge option over here by simply adding like added merge function, merge output. So this is my input value, and I'm mentioning what value I want to merge it with. and that's it. So yeah, I have configured that, and now you can see like my input phone number is standardized to one. It has removed the spaces, it has removed the special characters like PHN and all these things, and once you run the same logic over here in merge, if you test it, it will replace that particular phone number with TEL colon phone number. So this is how the merge functions. So similarly, you can try and use different rule specification or parse or deduplicate based on your uh, data. You can always refer our documentation links that has been already uploaded into our Hack to Skill page, where you can refer the detailed documentation and learn how to build your own DQ assets. So we have learned how to build a profile and how to identify the data anomalies. So we have also learned how to create DQ assets to fix those data anomalies. Say like country name, fixing this country name. So you have created your own cleanse DQ asset to fix the country name. Now we'll see like how this cleanse can be integrated in your data pipeline using data integration. So this is one of my this is my cloud data integration service. So yeah, let me showcase you in mapping where we have integrated this particular cleanse logic over here. So okay, sorry, I have used cleanse phone instead of cleanse country on my source data, but anyway we can review this cleanse phone and pass product. So like you can see, these are the different transformations that are available in IDMC. So you can use these transformations, aggregator, cleanse, data. I mean, few transformations only come with license like data masking and all. And you can see like deduplicate, the one we have seen in data quality. You can integrate that particular DQ asset inside this particular pipeline using this deduplicate transformation. The same way we're going to have transformations for all the DQ assets. Like you can see labeler, we can see additional transformations like rule specification, and then cleanse is used over here. All these kind of transformations can be reviewed, are displayed over here. You can simply drag and drop your transformation based on your choice. So this is my source, like this is my data pipeline. So in tomorrow's session, we'll showcase you like how to create a data pipeline, but I'm showcasing over here like how to integrate my DQ into your data pipeline. So this is my source. I have a flat file connection that is created, and this is a file that is present in my flat file path, the item detail. So you can preview your data. So my secure result is not up and running. So you can simply preview the sample data over here. And then I created an expression transformation over here, where I'm just passing an output port called TL column, and then I'm using a cleanse DQ asset that I have created earlier. So how to do it? How to use a cleanse DQ asset? So simply drag your cleanse transformation over here, connect from the previous transformation to the cleanse transformation, go to the properties, go to the cleanse, simply select the cleanse that I have created earlier. So I have created a cleanse phone, I have selected over here. And now you need to pass input values to your cleanse. So suppose, so if you have seen over here, my cleanse has two inputs, say like incoming phone number and incoming, sorry, this is cleanse country. Yeah. So you can see there are two inputs, incoming phone and incoming format. So it expects two inputs. So incoming phone number, I'm making sure like my field is mapped to contact number from a source data, and incoming format I'm mapping to as output format that which I created an expression that is TEL colon. So all both these ports are now mapped to cleanse, and now the data will now each and every record from the source will pass through this cleanse function, and the output of this cleanse will be coming out from the cleanse transformation. The same way I have created an parse on the product. So you can refer to our detailed workshop kit. So we have explained step by step like how you can create this cleanse or how you can create this parse and integrate in your data integration. So our lab mates are pretty much detailed. You can review them and you can drop your queries in our Discord channel if any. So over here the same way like a configured cleanse, I have drag and drop my parse transformation. I selected my parse transformation that I built earlier. So let me showcase you how a parse transformation looks like. We haven't showcased that in our earlier examples. So while this open up, I'll show you more details. So for parse also needs an input column. So my parse has an incoming field called parse product ID. and it is expecting a product ID as an input field. So I'm passing product ID from my source column into parse. So this is how the parse will be passed with the input values. So all the records from the source will be going to the cleanse transformation, and then they'll be going to the parse transformation. So let me showcase you what that particular parse transformation is. It still hasn't loaded. Let me see if I have, yeah, I have it over here. Let me open the parse transformation. Yeah. So this is one of the parse transformation that I have created. So like we discussed, parse can parse the data into separate columns based on the logic that you have created. So over here, I have an input, say like 34 colon 2805. So my input, this is my product ID, and out of my product ID, anything before hyphen is my stock code, and anything after the hyphen is my inventory code. So now my product or my downstream systems or my analytics team wants to have this product ID segregated into two different columns. So what how I'm going to do that? So I created an parse DQ transformation. I'm using an custom logic over here. So you can add your own regular expression or dictionary based on your choice. So I have created a regular expression. I have added the regular expression logic over here for the to pass anything before hyphen. This is the rule logic, and also I have created a regular expression to pass anything after hyphen. And I'm passing them as I'm creating the column names for this. So anything after hyphen is my inventory code, and anything before hyphen is my product code. So I have this example set. So once I select my secure agent and I click on this test, what this does is like it will pass my incoming values into product code and my inventory code. And anything that doesn't fulfill this particular incoming value will be passed into unpassed category. So let's just run. This might take few seconds. Yeah, you see, right? Like, everything before is passed into product code, and anything after is passed into unpassed column. So this is how you can parse your data sets. So yeah, so now we have integrated my parse logic into my data pipeline, and I have connected my parse to my target again. So my target is in Snowflake, a flat file over here again. So this flat file is placed in the same path which my flat file connection is pointing into. So my item detail.csv is now being converted into cleansed item detail.csv. So this is how I name the object. So when you run this mapping, all the incoming records will go through this cleanse logic. All the incoming records will go through this parse logic, and it will be loaded into your target data set. So this is in detail about cloud data integration, cloud data profiling, and uh, cloud data quality services. So you can, if you have not registered yet, you can use this free trial, which is enabled with all the services. So most of the DQ assets and most of the uh, uh, existing functionalities are enabled in a cloud on your trial. So you can try based on your choice. So you can also make sure like you can go into a hack to skill page, and you can go to the workshop kit that we have for cloud data profiling and quality. And we have different yeah, you can see we have different documentations that can help you. So we have different resources section also. So if you go into the workshop kit, this workshop kit will have the sample file that we have used, and it also has the detailed step by step explaining how you can configure the things that we have already discussed earlier. So this ends the session for cloud data profiling, cloud data quality, and cloud data integration. Simarjit, are you there?
Hi, Sudhir. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sudhir. So, with that, we have come to the end of our second hands-on workshop. You can find the recording and the demo link shared in the resource section of the dashboard. Thank you, Sudhir, for the workshop, and thank you everyone joining us today. This is a gentle reminder that the idea submission and the registration deadline of the Informatica Data Engineering Hackathon coming up in 6 days, that is 11th March. I guess you have any queries, feel free to reach out us to informatica-deh@hack2skill. See you all tomorrow for another training workshop. Thank you so much, Sudhir.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, everyone, so you can simply post them in your Discord group, or like
Yeah,
Sumarjit mentioned, you can drop an email. So we have our experts who are always available, and we're going to respond to your queries if you need it.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Sudhir.
that's
Thank you, everyone.
yeah.
Joined.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.